Yes, hi. I started off as a teenage chef in Baltimore, Maryland, working in a steak and lobster house. So my background was really seafood and steaks, and actually the owners were German, so I did a lot of German food back then too. So I probably had more lobster as a teenager than most people would have in a lifetime. So pretty fortunate. So I worked my way through high school. I thought I was going to be an attorney because I loved history and loved debating, but I guess God had different plans for me. So after I got out of school, I worked in a country club in Baltimore, and then from there I got with Marriott Hotels and Resorts when I was 21. And I started out at Dulles Airport, Virginia, just outside of D.C., where they made the first airport movie. And I was lucky enough to see the Concorde take off and land every day, so that was a beautiful thing. So I started off with Marriott back in 1978, and we only had 18 hotels. And we were constantly opening up new properties, and when they had them listed, they had one for Fort Lauderdale. And I just came back from Miami, so I asked my district manager, could you give me to Fort Lauderdale one day? He said, well, just keep on doing what you're doing, and you'll get there. And he actually took over the Florida region and brought me with him, so I've been in Florida for the most part since then. I started off at the Fort Lauderdale Marriott Hotel and Marina. I opened up the Marriott Harbor Beach on the beach also. I opened that up. From there I went to Tampa, West Shore, where I was the youngest executive chef in the history of the company. I was 23. And partly because I started cooking when I was 15 years old, I was a chef when I was 16 with a 120-seat restaurant. So from Tampa, I came back to Miami, Biscayne Bay, down by the Omni. I opened that property up in '83. I was there for 3 years. And from there, they shipped me to Marco Island, so I was there for a bit. And every property seemed to get larger and busier for me. And like Marco, we had 5 restaurants, catering for 1,000 people. I had 200 employees in the kitchen, so it was a big operation. And in our summertime in Marco, they would take their chefs and to troubleshoot all over the country, and they sent me up to Westchester, New York, at the Tarrytown Marriott. So I was up there for a couple of weeks troubleshooting. My other chef was on vacation, and I guess they weren't too happy with him. And I did my 2 weeks up there, came back to Marco. They called me back for 2 more weeks. Went back to Marco, called me back for 2 more weeks, and then they offered me the job in New York. And I've been in Florida for 7 years already. I had sand in my shoes. It was a real difficult decision. I turned it down. And they offered me the job again, and I turned it down. So the third offer, I knew I had to take it career-wise, so I took it, and I was in Tarrytown for a couple of years, and loved it, except, as we all know, summer's too short, winter's too long. So I remember playing softball every week and golf every weekend, so after Labor Day, it's all over. So I poured myself into my job, and I became the executive chef of the year for that region, New York, New Jersey, and Barbados. So I loved that, but I kept on coming back to Florida. Every 3 or 4 months, I'd fly back for a softball tournament, go back to New York. My boss knew one day I wasn't coming back, and that's pretty much what happened. I gave my notice, and I was one of the top 10 chefs in the company, and I quit to move back to South Florida to play softball with my buddies. True story. From there, I got into food service, and if you're familiar with downtown Miami, the SunTrust Tower was originally called, the one that's lit different colors, like orange for the orange. I worked there, and I ran the food service operation called Pie's Place. It was a 475-seat restaurant, and we fed 1,800 people a day. Mostly, attorneys and stockbrokers, whoever's in the building, paralegals, and we did it, and then we lost the contract. From there, I got into the spa business. So since 1995, I worked at the Regency Health Spa. I wrote a couple of cookbooks called Vegetarian Magic. And there at the spa is a plant-based vegetarian resort. We had a juicing program, and with Dr. Sabatino, we actually had a water fasting program also. And so for 20 years, I was doing that, teaching cooking classes, healthy cooking classes, 3 days a week. The owners, just in their late 80s, they sold the property in 2015, so that closed the spa down. So I went back into corporate for about 3 years, corporate food service. It wasn't like the hotel business, and that wasn't my bag. So I started working for myself in 2019. And I have 4 different jobs. During the day, I'm a vegetarian chef. I deliver food locally to Bob and Sherry and Jackie and Jane, also all over South Florida. And then in the evenings, I'm a Cozymeal chef. So at nighttime, have you heard of Cozymeal before? It started in San Francisco. So I started out there, this guy Sam. And basically the concept is you come to the chef's house and he cooks for you and it goes into this home. And then some people also have you come over to their place and cook as well, but I prefer doing it in my place. So I've been doing that since 2019. I was the first Cozymeal chef in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. And what happened was they sent me an email saying they're looking for chefs to do this, and I went, well, that's what I do. It was right up my alley. So I started with them, and they sent us a couple menus. So I sent them a Mexican menu. I love Mexican food. And I trained in southern France with Roger Verger at Moulin-Mouzin, just off the French Riviera near Cannes. So I did a French menu. So I submitted them. They said, okay, we'll send a photographer, we'll do a photo shoot for you, and then we'll build your website. So because a little bit I know, the photographer passes me for the job. He's in a nice house, nice neighborhood. Is he organized? Is food presentable? Does it taste good? So he's the one that passed me for the job. And thank God that I didn't count on that for full-time income. Was this 2019, July? I had no bookings for 6 months. Great. And then COVID hit. And the restaurants closed. And most people didn't even want to go to the supermarket. So I was an essential worker. And when February came on board, it was Valentine's month. And I had like 13 functions in 1 month, and my business just took off. So that's what I've been doing ever since in the evenings. I do some catering. And the other thing I do is this. I do the Nowakowski Beach Retreat. Okay, so what I've done is when the spa closed, my clients for all these years were looking for somewhere to go. So what I do now is pop up 7-night packages on Hollywood Beach at the Sea Downs Resort. That's 6 times a year we do it. And it's, a full agenda as far as plant-based, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We'll do a wild-caught fish option one night, and we will do a sushi night one night. And then, so after breakfast in the morning, all vegetarian, we'll have aqua zumba in the pool, and then we have lunch. I do cooking classes every day. I do a juicing class every afternoon. Every day, 4:30, we have yoga meditation. So it's a full curriculum for our clients. And it should be about 10 to 16 people is what we top it out at. So been doing that for 5 years also. That's a lot of fun. A lot of my old clients, but also new people, and just changing lives. People want to come there to lose a few pounds, get their mojo back, and learn how to incorporate this lifestyle when they get back home. Any questions?
When is that taking place?
On Hollybrook Beach, just north of the Marriott Hotel, about 3 blocks. The resort's called the Sea Downs, and they have a sister property called Bougainvillea, so we have 2 properties to choose from. And I get an oceanfront suite. I gut the living room, and I bring in my banquet tables and chairs, and I'm embedded in the room with the customers the whole week, cooking with them. So it's a blast. So instead of hiding in the back behind the wall like most chefs do, I'm out there with you the whole time, answering questions and having fun. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a proud dad of 2 kids. My Johnny's a senior at FAU right now for business, and my Bella's up in Gainesville, University of Florida, for aeronautical engineering. Go figure. So anyway, they're my pride and joy. And today we're going to make I made a black bean soup for you, right? One of Jackie's favorites. And then we're going to do, I can make this famous dressing, a tahini dressing. So we'll do that in the room with you. We'll do some tastings with that also. And then if you're good, we'll have dessert. Right, so I did some grilled pineapples, and I'm going to make a cashew cream sauce for you also. And then if you're really good, I got some cookies on the side too. So, all right, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is the black bean soup, and my product line, my vegetarian product line is organic. Okay, as organic as possible. If I can't find organic, I at least get locally grown. Okay, so and then I don't use salt when I'm cooking. And the same as at the spa, we try to keep it SOS compliant, which means no salt, no oil, no sugar. And for me, I don't use salt, but I'll use liquid aminos, like to flavor my bean soups. I use Bragg's liquid aminos. Bragg's is a non-fermented soy sauce. So for people that have candida and can't tolerate fermented foods, they can tolerate Bragg's. It's not a low sodium product. It's like the same kind of sodium values that a soy sauce would have, but it's not fermented. So it's my beef broth alternative. Because I don't use bouillon cubes typically, because I know it's bouillon cubes, there's trans fats, right? I mean, if you can read the small print. Partially hydrogenated oil, there's corn syrup in there, because we're an addictive nation to sugar. And then we thought salt was the biggest issue. And then there's, of course, artificial coloring and artificial flavoring. So as a beef broth option, I'll use Bragg's, and I'll put this in my mushroom sauces, and my black bean soup, my lentil soups, as an alternative. Because my goal when I'm making soups is I want the soups to taste sweet from the vegetables in the product in the soup. If it tastes salty, somebody had a heavy hands. Okay, so we don't use the salt shaker. Minimal use of oils. I might put a couple drops of sesame oil in a marinade or something like that once in a while. And if I'm cooking, I would probably use avocado oil. So when it comes to high heat cooking, like I don't watch a lot of cooking shows because the chefs, they bore me. But you'll see a guy pan frying veal scallopini in olive oil. But when I buy extra virgin olive oil, it's cold pressed. It's never been heated, and it has a low smoke point. So you're not supposed to be sauteing with olive oil. You want to use high heat oils. Grapeseed oil is one, and the best one is avocado oil. Avocado oil has less inflammatory markers for heart disease than grapeseed oil does. Now, when we came out of it, and we're all kind of the same contemporaries, when we came out of the Crisco generation, and everyone was using lard for their biscuits and stuff like that, and people were dying of heart attacks in their 40s, canola oil comes out, and that was a cholesterol-free oil, but it's not the greatest for you. We have learned over the years, as the food industry has evolved, that canola affects your stomach linings and intestinal walls, so we want to avoid canola. Avocado oil is the best one. It's neutral in flavor, so I can put it in my cookie recipes, and it's not going to impart flavors like a coconut oil may. Right? So, and then when it comes to sugars, I don't use refined sugars, any of these white sugar products. I try to use either agave. I have a raw agave, which is cactus nectar. It's a lower glycemic sweetener. It's an alternative to honey, because honey's not vegan when we're cooking vegan. Okay. So, and then as far as if I'm going to use a brown sugar or a raw sugar, I want raw sugar and I want it to be organic. Because the cane plant is highly sprayed with pesticides, right? So you want to buy, if you're going to buy any kind of sugar product, buy organic. Right? Any questions? You guys hungry? It's happy hour. All right, so, well, we're going to start with black bean soup. So I'll serve you the black bean soup now, and when I make my bean soups, I always use raw organic beans, dry organic, okay? I can promise you this much. If you use dry organic, your soups will always taste better. Because when you buy beans in a can, there's something about the canning process that alters the flavor of foods. Now, what else I do, I'm good, Jack, is I also soak my beans first before I use them to aid in the digestibility of beans. So I take a pot of scalding water, put the whole shell beans in there and let them soak for 1 to 2 hours. That scalding water will crack the shell of the bean that allows the sugars to escape to cause digestive gases. So at that point, I have a fresh pot of filtered water on the stove, strain the soaking beans off, rinse them off, and then proceed with the recipe. I'll put a bay leaf in most of my soups because bay leaves release elements that help fight cancer. So I'll put bay leaf in most all of my soups. All right? So you do not have to soak split legumes like lentils and split peas. Just rinse them off before you use them. But any whole shell beans, chickpeas, navy beans, etc., I would use that procedure. If that doesn't help with your digestion, you can do one other thing. I have a strip of a seaweed called kombu, K-O-M-B-U. Kombu is a seaweed that aids in the digestibility of beans. It also has a good mineral content. There's actually more minerals in seaweed than there is in plant-based vegetables. So, anyway, that's a little bit about a lot of things. So in the black bean soup, I have organic onions and peppers and black beans and cumin and cilantro. I use cayenne pepper as my pepper of choice because black pepper is an irritant to your stomach linings and intestinal walls, and after years of abuse may cause ulcers. Think about it. You ever had a black pepper granule stuck in your teeth before and you took it out with a toothpick and your tongue starts burning? The same thing is happening to your intestinal tract. Okay? So I always try to give you better alternatives. It doesn't say you have to do it. I'm going to offer it up to you. And some stuff may apply to you and your family, some stuff may not. I look at like an Olympic scorecard. You throw out the highs and the lows, and somewhere in the middle may apply. All right. And then once so I simmer my beans and add my vegetables and my spices. I don't add salt to my soups or a sodium product to the very end, because as this soup is cooking, the sweetness from the vegetables and spices that we're using is to make the soup taste better. So my reliance on sodium is going to be less. So I add it at the end. If you put salt in your soups in the beginning, and it's cooking and it's boiling, well, it's reducing, right? So there's less liquid and it's getting saltier and saltier. So for me, my style of cooking is low sodium, high flavor. So I always want to add that sodium at the last second. Hi.
Yes, I've always been told by people that I grew up in a household, my father couldn't eat any salt. If you don't add salt while you're cooking something, does adding it later doesn't really help it? I mean, that's what I.
Well, adding it later means you add less. Because what you've been simmering for the last hour and a half tastes so good already, your requirements are less sodium. And that's my style. And then chefs are like leaves on the tree. We're all different in our own way, including yourself. So we're all different, but that's my style. So here we go. Want to try it? You got the spoon? You leave it right there. I'm going to drop it down.
Okay.
And then you have the spoons?
Carol, you want to come around and... Yeah.
If you all have any questions, feel free to fire away. I'm sorry? Kombu?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a seaweed. It's a sea vegetable. It's a seaweed like wakame and nori.
Okay.
So, All right, so the classes I teach with Cozymeal at nighttime, I have 6 different classes, and one is a vegetarian class. The they release compounds that help fight cancer. They release compounds that help fight cancer. I can't tell you breaking them down what they are. I just know when I was looking it up, that's what it said as far as benefits of Bailey's. Other things that help fight cancer: cooked mushrooms, raw onions, legumes, sprouts. Here we go. All right. One tray is ready. 3, 6, 9, 15. Not about 2 trays. 15 per tray.
Have another tray?
I can definitely grab one. I just need to quickly get the tablecloth.
I'll take it this way. Okay.
It's plastic. They want us to take care of
Want to do this? Yeah. Okay, ladies.
A few more.
Anybody need a spoon?
I've done 30, Jane. How many? That'll be, I think we're pretty close now. That'll be 36. And I think that's probably about it.
nice appetizer. I love soup. Very good.
Good?
Did you say that you soak beans?
Yes, take a pot of boiling water, put them in there. Nope, in boiling water for 1 hour. When you add the beans to the boiling water, turn the water off. Just let them rest for 1 hour, 1 or 2 hours.
And then just simmer through
A
whatever.
strainer, rinse them off, and then start again.
What kind of beans do you get? The organic small, just black beans?
Yeah, black beans, organic beans, navy beans. Sometimes I gotta buy them online.
We need more.
Thank you. Cumin, cilantro, cayenne pepper, garlic. And then Bragg's is my flavor base. That means we're up to 40 then. I've served you,
Oh, here then. We just have
you good? Are you good now? Good. Okay, so we're good. Great.
Clam chowder?
I could. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Quiet!
Hello. Okay.
Oh, what did I say? Okay. While you're enjoying your soup, I'm going to start on the salad dressing, okay? Thank you.
Salad dressing.
Sure. Okay.
I was gonna put the cups in one of each. I was gonna put the cups in one of each, is that okay? Or not?
Okay, yeah.
Do you want the dressing after? Or?
No, actually, why don't you do this on the side? I'm going to put up. I'm thinking. Well, let's do one together first. Do a sample. What we do is like one of each, and then so the thing is, I think the dressing is going to keep at the top of it. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Let me help you.
I hope you like the soup. Awesome. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you, I do have recipes for you for this. Now we're going to make my house dressing called tahini dressing. And I invented this by accident. And a lot of times in the kitchen, necessity is the mother of invention. You come up with things and you can't believe how good they turned out because you had to change your game plan. So I was making the mise en place for baba ganoush. Okay, so while the roasted eggplant was in the refrigerator cooling, I was assembling the rest of the ingredients. And there was a sweetener, it was parsley, garlic, some lemon juice, and some mustard. And I'm like, this tastes pretty good. And then added the tahini to it. I think we got something here. So that recipe actually became the basis for my tahini dressing. And it wound up being our house dressing. Now, if most of us tried tahini dressing before in a vegetarian restaurant, they're usually pasty, not very flavorful, kind of flat tasting typically. And I've added a lot of pizzazz to this recipe, I think, and it took over our... I served it one time and the guests started requesting it every day, so it became the house dressing. That's how good it was. And it isn't just good over salads. I'll crush a baked potato with some chopped tomatoes and olives and put some over a baked potato. It's good. We'll have it today with crudité. Okay? So, tahini is sesame seed butter. Like peanuts are the peanut butter, tahini's ground sesame seed. I like the Kabbalah brand. It's organic. And if you ever want to see this again, I'm on YouTube and TikTok. So if you just look me up, I think I made 21 videos. We dropped about 13 videos, healthy cooking things. So if you like what you see, you can see more. All right, so I just got water, okay, so, and then some organic lemon juice. I get this either at Publix or Whole Foods. And then I'll add enough agave's cactus nectar. And I mentioned it's an alternative to honey. So if I wanted to make a honey mustard dressing, I just change it to agave, make an agave mustard dressing. I'm doing plant-based. So then we'll add a couple squirts of agave to balance the lemon juice in the recipe, right? That sweet and sour. Okay. A dash of cayenne pepper, our pepper of choice. And cayenne, of course, is spicier than black pepper, so a little dab will do you. I made a few mistakes when I was transitioning into this style of cooking with the cayenne shaker, so always leave the shaker on, don't free pour it. And then also add a stone ground mustard to the recipe, okay? So none of that ballpark hot dog mustard, okay? Let's get some ground mustard. Has a little more personality to it, a little more flavor to it. So a couple squirts of that, and this is a real low sodium mustard. A little fresh minced garlic. I always buy the garlic already peeled and then just cut it up and puree it with some water in my Cuisinart. So I'll make my own fresh chopped garlic because I don't trust that garlic in the jar. Like, how old is it? Okay, so I rather make my own fresh. Maybe make a large batch, put some in the freezer, take a little bit out as you need it. I'm gonna add some fresh chopped parsley also. Now this is a game changer. Ever buy basil or cilantro and you use half of it for your recipe and you put the rest in your crisper and you get busy with life and 3 or 4 days later it's brown and it's slimy and you're like, oh, and all right, what is? So what you can do is when you buy your bunch of cilantro or basil or oregano, what else, parsley, chop the entire thing at one time. So make a dirty cutting board one time, and I'll put the rest in the little deli containers in my freezer. So I got a C for cilantro, O for oregano, P for parsley, D for dill, R for rosemary in my freezer. So whenever I need fresh chopped herbs, I go to my freezer and I put them in. And once they hit a liquid, they reconstitute itself into a fresh herb. So you're no longer throwing stuff away, but also it's a time saver. Like, I would never buy basil or oregano in a jar. And those jar spices, unless you're buying organic, they're zapped with radiation. They put them in 16-inch steel chambered walls and zap those spices to extend their shelf life. Okay? So when you buy spices at Whole Foods, they had signs there occasionally that say, we do not knowingly use irradiated foods. Well, spices are a perfect example of irradiated foods. So when you buy organic spices, they haven't been zapped. All right? And then with your herbs, when you have your fresh chopped herbs in a freezer, your food's going to taste better. You're going to work faster because you've already chopped the herbs already. and you're going to save money because you're not wasting anything. Right? And cilantro is the one herb that you can chop up the stems and all and use them. Okay. All right, so I've added the main ingredients, and then the last thing I add is tahini. And if you're making this in a blender at home, I always put in my liquids first because tahini is very thick. If you put tahini in your blender first, it's going to choke that blade and get it difficult to get started and probably burn up your blender before it's time. So I was doing and you can probably find this on the internet. I was doing a podcast with Chef AJ. And Chef AJ is a plant-based chef out of LA, big time. I mean, very, very big. And I did an hour-and-a-half podcast with her a couple of years ago. And I've noticed, she goes, Chef, what's your 2 favorite pieces of equipment in the kitchen? I said, well, my new man crush is that air fryer over there. I love the air fryer. It's just, especially when you're cooking for 1 or 2 people. Why heat up an oven in the middle of summertime when you just want to make a couple croutons? You know? So the air fryer is fantastic. Because in half the time as a regular oven. So if you're on the fence about should I buy an air fryer or should I not buy an air fryer, buy an air fryer. Because if you're just reheating up a pizza, I mean, if I'm making croutons for Caesar salad in a conventional oven, I got to preheat the oven for 5 minutes or so, 12 minutes to bake the croutons. Hopefully I turn the oven off. All right, so 30 minutes of the oven going. And an air fryer, same product, 7 minutes at 350. So it's convenient. So I love that. I've done salmon in there, and you can do all kinds. Made my own potato chips sometimes. All right, so the tahini is kind of stiff, so it's got to pull off the bottom a little bit, and then we'll add it to our recipe. So the other thing, because Chef AJ asked me, what's your 2 favorite pieces of equipment? All right, so the air fryer was one, and the other one is this bad boy right here. If y'all don't have an immersion blender, get one, okay? And if you're not sure, I'll prove it to you. When I'm doing my Cozymeal classes in the evening, I'm doing Mexican night for 2 people, and I have to make Caesar salad. If I do it in my blender, just for it to reach that first blade, I need 4 eggs, a lot more olive oil, a lot more anchovies, a lot more everything. So I do it in a small container with the immersion blender. I need 1 egg, 1 can of anchovies, and a lot less, and nothing goes bad. When my bananas overripen, I don't really make banana muffins, they're not for weight loss, but I'll put my bananas in the freezer, peel them. You buy a quart of strawberries, and by the time you get to the bottom layer, they get a little slippery a little bit. Cut the tops off, put them in a baggie, put them in the freezer. So my freezer I have bananas, blueberries, strawberries, and when I want to make a smoothie in the morning, I get them out, I cut up the banana, I add some almond milk, a little flaxseed or chia seed, puree it, and this is my cleanup. Instead of a blender cup, the lid, the blade, making too much. So it's easy to clean up, and you're back on the streets before you know it. So I love this thing for making marinades and sauces. Like, here's an example. When you're making a marinade, let's say you're marinating chicken breast, and you got some fresh minced garlic in there, and you got your vinegar, your oil, your salt, your sugars, and you whip it all up, right? And you put it over your stuff to marinate. Great. All the chopped garlic went to the bottom of the container. If you make those marinades and then puree them, you're going to emulsify all the ingredients and make a little bit of it, because the high speed causes things to thicken, the blade will puree it. So then you're going to be taking all those spices and herbs that you used, and it's going to be distributed evenly through your recipe because you did it with this. All right? All right, so at that point we'll add the tahini.
Do all supermarkets sell tahini?
I'm sorry?
All supermarkets sell tahini?
Publix has them. Whole Foods has them. I get it online. I like the Kavala. A lot of times, like, Whole Foods has a tahini, organic tahini, in this little white container, and it's a pain in the ass. By the time you get to the bottom, it's all stuck there. You can't get it out, and you're wasting product. It's all like a wide mouth jar. The other one that you can buy locally is Joyva. They have a wide mouth. They're fantastic. So those are my 2 favorite ones, Kavala and Joyva. No, Joyva is not organic. It's roasted, so it has good flavor, but it's not. So for me, because my product line is organic, I found the Kavala brand to be the best one. Then it's not enough. It's not enough. So 2/3 of this recipe is lemon juice and water, so it's not really high fat, and it's fat from a seed, right? The dressing will hold for a week or two. It's ground. Oh my God! It's ground sesame seeds. There's a hole in the spoon, so my stuff is going everywhere. All right. Okay. All right. So then we'll just puree this.
That's all it is. There's a seed.
Yes. Okay. So then you just puree it. And this recipe, it'll get thicker when it's refrigerated. And if it's too thick for you, just add a little water to it. It doesn't change the flavor, just thins it out. That fast is done. See, none of that messy blender stuff. Let me go first. I'll keep the reputation intact. Squirt of mustard. I mean, it's only when I'm baking or I'm cooking rice or quinoa, I'm measuring. But if I'm doing dressing, I've made it 1,000 times, so I can just eyeball it for the most part. Trust me on that. All right, so we got some organic carrots and organic celery. Celery is in a dirty dozen, so you want to buy it organic. Okay. What's the dirty dozen? Produce that has the highest amount of pesticides. So what's in the dirty dozen? Blueberries, kale, apples, grapes. Off the top of my head. So you want to buy those organic if you can. And I still wash my organic produce because I don't know if it fell on the floor or somebody had some dirt on it. So even though it's organic doesn't mean it's perfect. So I still rinse it off before I use it. I use organic for the most part. Yes. This is where something to put this in is going to be easy to clean that eventually. And then we can transport it like that, you know?
Got it.
Thank you. Oh, let's give it a try.
Where's it going? Just to rinse off and bring it back.
Any questions? Per person. Per person.
There's enough for everything.
Oh, we can't have that.
When you finish tasting this, we have the
recipe.
the recipe for this particular dressing, and we'll give it out to everybody.
And also the cashew cream recipe will be on there too.
And the cashew cream, and we have
I think we're good. There you go, Jane. One more. Okay. All set, Jack. Thank you. Hope you like.
We're sort of dumping that.
Ready?
Yeah, we'll get that in. Start that in. Okay.
How we doing? Good? Am I audible?
When he asks questions, it means
Or Wednesday.
Thank you.
I've got to break this one in half.
There's one cup that fell over, Jackie. That's the one I'm using. This one here.
We need one more.
Okay, go. Hold it. Put it in. Perfect. Good?
A couple more.
Yeah.
2 more. 3 more.
And 2 more.
Yeah, he's got it. He's a pro. He's got it. You can eyeball
You're
it.
doing good too. Okay.
You got one here. Did you get that?
Nope. All right.
This is the largest crowd we've ever had.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad they saved it for me. You're missing the celery on that one, Jane. One has no celery.
I'm going to ask people at the end whether they want chicken fries.
One has no celery. That mean you're out? Jane, are you out of celery? One is missing celery.
Yeah, we ran out of it.
Oh yeah, okay. So that means we have plenty then. Okay. There, you improvise.
Did you guys get any?
Get the last one? Yeah. All right.
Did you get any?
Need 2 more?
Got it.
Thank you.
You know, that way you can put any sugar in.
Okay, John, here's your blender. Here's your
Thank you.
washed and reasonably clean.
Put the sugar in it. No, not real sugar, but
Got it?
strawberry sugar. I'll take it.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It'll get thick. When it gets cold, it gets thicker. So I'm a little, yeah. Did you try the dressing, Jack? Did you try the dressing?
You make it the night before.
Okay, guys, the next one is the pineapple, right? Pineapple with the cashew cream sauce.
You want me to clean this up? Collect them so they don't spill them on.
Got it. Everybody done with their cup? Here, Zelda, give me a cup. Your cup. Give me your cup. Unless you want it.
They put it
How was your crew today, okay? Definitely all right? Awesome, thank you. All right, so let's move on. Before I get to dessert, let's do a little knife skills. You have celery or carrot here? Any good sauce on it? No, it's a piece of celery or carrot, that's not. Yeah, one piece. All right, so the most common knife used in my kitchen is the 8-inch chef's knife, chopping, right? And it's meant to be used just the way the knife is shaped. So you rock it back and forth, keeping the tip of the knife on the table at all times. Right? Keeping the tip of the knife on the table at all times. I want to use this part of the knife when I'm chopping. If you notice, the metal's a little thicker, a little heavier. So when I'm cutting hard to cut vegetables like a carrot, it gives me more leverage. If I use this part of the knife when I'm chopping, and I make a mistake, it could be a major body part. So if you use this part of the knife, at least if you nick yourself, maybe you're going to nick it a little bit, not a lot, right? So, anyway, so the other important thing is how to preserve the manicure. So when you're holding your food, I want to hold my food with my fingernails. So you want to bend the knuckle on all of your fingers, including your thumb. And it's nice that this is small pieces. It makes it a little clearer. So with your fingernails, my knuckle is a guideline for the knife. You see? And especially like when you're cutting mushrooms, you don't want to leave that thumb out there just waiting to be cut, you know? So you want to bend that knuckle, and that's the safe way, right? So it's like that. So I'm not going down, I'm going down and through. Maybe you can't see that, but you're going down and through. So when you're cutting a vegetable like red peppers that has skins on them, you always go skin side down, flesh side up. Because the skin is slippery. That's how I cut my thumb as a teenager on a green pepper, because it was skin side up and the knife was dull. So I go skin side down. It's always safer. And I do not use green peppers in any of my recipes. And why is that? Because the green pepper is an unripened pepper.
Yeah.
It causes reflux for people. My mother used to use them because they were cheaper, and I hated them. So I use red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, purple peppers for that matter. Those are fully ripened peppers, and as a result, there's 10 times more vitamin C and twice as much vitamin A as a green pepper. And they're sweeter in flavor, so your foods will taste better. So not only they taste better, they're also more nutritious as a result. Okay? And now we do this. Now we dessert. All right, so we're gonna do I made a seared pineapple for you. I love doing seared fruits. And I just take a non-stick pan, peel and cut the pineapple, and just sear it till it's dark brown on both sides. And searing fruits brings out some of the natural sugars in the fruit so it even tastes better. So we're gonna do that and accompany it with a cashew cream sauce. So this is my vegan, plant-based whipped cream alternative. How's that? Okay. So through the magic of television, I've already soaked the cashews in some almond milk. So I have organic, unsweetened almond milk and raw cashews. So they're not salted, they're not roasted. When you roast them, it affects the quality of fats and nuts, and you'll also eat more because they're roasted. All right, so we got the soaked cashews. I'll add some cinnamon. And cinnamon, we talked about cayenne pepper, is better for you. Well, cinnamon is also a beneficial spice. Cinnamon is good for your blood sugar levels. And to a diabetic, it's almost medicinal. Its effects on the body. So whenever you're doing something sweet, adding a little cinnamon to it is beneficial. When you're putting your coffee in your oatmeal, okay, so cinnamon is a beneficial spice. A couple drops of organic vanilla. I don't know where you guys shop at, but my first stop was always Aldi's. And you get organic vanilla for half the price as a typical supermarket. Okay, vanilla extract. And then a couple squirts of raw agave. Right, a couple squirts of agave to sweeten it. And I soak the nuts for a couple hours because that makes them easier to puree. Okay? So then once again, my handy dandy, just puree it until they're creamy. And it's equal amounts of cashews and equal amounts of almond milk. So like a 1-to-1 ratio. You have to be patient though, because nuts, are kind of grainy. So I want to make it creamy, so you just have to really hang in there and puree it for a while. So it gets the consistency you want. So it's a labor of love. And this will hold for a couple weeks refrigerated. My daughter drinks it like a beverage. She loves it so. And you can do other nuts to make this. You can use almonds, but the trouble is most almonds have skin on them, so it's going to be grittier. So I find raw cashews work really great for thickening salad dressings and dessert sauces. Okay? And once again, try to soak them before you use them. Make it easier. You can get the trays and put the cups on the trays and put them up here. Okay? All right, so once this is all creamy, we're ready to go. Don't you have more? I thought I had 3.5. I brought 150 of them. Trying to scare me? Alright. So it needs a squirt of agave. We're ready. The ladles that we use for dressing, the smaller. Yes. Yeah, they have two different kinds.
It seems to me it's a process.
Right, the lighter one is called amber color. It's amber, and this one is the raw one. So I'd say if you're looking from what's better, I'd say the raw one's probably better, less processed. Flavor's about the same, the color's different. Okay, so I am ready. I gotta put this blender in on.
What else do you need?
Remember how we did it last time with the blender? Oh, there were 2 cups there, actually. One inside each other. But it doesn't matter. You can just do it. That's about it. You have a honey ladle? You know what? Jackie, I'll use it. All right, so, well, I'm going to be pineapple.
Yeah.
I have to cut the pineapple yet. So, listen. You can turn it off. All right, so right before I left today, I grilled the pineapples, and I just took a non-stick pan.
Does that look good?
No oil. I have a flat griddle at home. It's non-stick. Never put oil in it. I do my pancakes in there, my fritters on there. Same with the pineapple. Because when you put oil in a non-stick pan, it starts coagulating, sticking to that pan, and it's going to ruin that pan in a very short period of time. So no oil in my non-stick pan. Okay. So then I seared them on both sides, and that brings out the sweetness of your fruits. And we'll serve that with the cashew cream sauce.
Any kind of oil? No good. Huh?
I'm sorry?
No avocado oil in a non-stick pan?
Well, you can. All I'm saying is, eventually that oil buildup is going to affect your pan
Right.
quality.
That's
sure.
That's the
Because
problem.
my nonstick pan, I've had it for 5 years and it's
It's
perfect.
never done
It's
that.
brand new.
Oh, good. That I understand.
Right, so. Yeah. Well, you'll see the buildup in the oil.
Thank you.
I gotta really scrub it, but I don't even think you should scrub it
Because it's non-stick, right? You can scratch it.
you scratch it.
That's the core.
At core.
Dipped into that.
It's the core.
She learned the hard way. Oh, wait.
Oh, there's
My hands are on it.
This is what? This is the pineapple.
And then the cashew cream sauce. Okay, so we need to.
I have the ladle.
I'll use this.
Now this pineapple, is it,
Did you know you can
I'm sorry?
in a non-stick page?
oil and ruins it?
Yeah.
Non-stick.
You go.
I try not to. I don't have anything that's coated. I do use it. But I know that Teflon, that's something I've been running out a long time ago. Because that stuff comes off of your food.
Carol? Howard? Carol? Somebody?
I'm sorry?
How is the pineapple done?
I turn it non-stick pan on high, like number 7 or 8 on the stove. Let it get nice and hot, and then I seared it on both sides. Like 5 minutes on each side, probably.
Thank you.
Huh? Didn't need it. It didn't need oil. 0 oil. I try to go low-fat cooking or fat-free cooking, so you don't need it. Yeah, there's no oil on it. I mean, you have a little fat here from the cashew on the sauce. That's it. Nope. I'm sorry? Well, that's my career. That's what I do. I'm here to help people lose weight and get healthier. Can you lay these cups out for me, please?
What do you want?
Can you
This?
lay the cups out for me? Just lay them out.
Here.
Thanks.
There's another tray. Oh, wait, she didn't finish
Okay.
it.
That's it? Okay. Get on the ball, Jackie. You're on the ball.
Coming.
Good. We have plenty of sauce.
All my other pans I got.
The pineapple smells divine.
Well, as soon as I take this away, they're going to throw it
That's my last one.
laying out
Thank you. There you go.
In here without protecting.
But she didn't tell me.
No, we know. Go ahead.
It's not true. I said to Ashley, you should never do that. Never. This is her job.
I know, but I should have thought. It was a last minute. Everybody was stressed. She was trying to accommodate me. I'm not going to give her grief.
We made it
Well,
work.
I did.
We made it happen.
I gave her that.
Howard gave her the business because that's Howard's good like that. That's what he's taking.
Yeah, there's no more
That's it. That's all there is.
Okay, whoever's, that's
Should be enough. It should be enough. Oh,
it.
get two
Okay,
more.
guys. Hello. Everybody. Hello. Okay, so after the pineapple, do you have something else or can I make
Yeah, the cookies in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So after you're finished the sweets, which is the pineapple, we're handing it out. We have more. There's some over here, Howard. Over to your far back. They didn't get any.
Yeah, one more here. You try one, Jackie?
Oh, I will. I'm just. We have the peanut butter cookies.
I'll explain.
Peanut butter cookies.
Peanut butter chocolate chip.
Peanut butter chocolate chip cookies.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, Howard. Howard, let me have your voice. Get everybody quiet. I need your
He's like,
board
no, he
reports.
won't do it.
Okay, he just wants to talk about the cookies first.
This is my best-selling cookie. It's made with organic peanut butter, organic oatmeal, and you do want to buy organic oatmeal, okay? You don't want to buy just Quaker oats. Why is that? A lot of oat farms are being produced on former cotton plantations. And the pesticides they used to kill the boll weevil back then has an afterlife of over 100 years. All right? So that's the reason to buy organic oatmeal. If you buy conventional oatmeal, there's chances are it could have been farmed in a location where there was pesticides still residing in the soil. So always buy organic oatmeal.
What about
Always
Bob's?
buy organic oatmeal.
Bob's.
Well, as long as it's organic. Bob's is a great brand name. He has conventional and organic.
Okay.
I prefer organic when it's oatmeal.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to minimize pesticides and things in our life, right? So when you buy an organic food, you know, all those pesticides built up in your body over a course of time can cause disease as we age, right? So we want to keep an eye on that. All right, so it's organic peanut butter, organic oatmeal. My sweetener is agave and some organic brown sugar.
And the
Okay.
chocolate chips are?
They're dark chocolate chips. They're not milk chocolate chips because we're trying to be plant-based, right? And then a little baking powder, and then my flour is organic chickpea flour. My girlfriend needs to be gluten-free because she's celiac, so I try to do things that apply to everyone. So by using, and I get it from Amazon, but organic chickpea flour, if you use one for any other flour, you can't tell the difference. So if you can't tell the difference, just make a better choice for you and your family when you're cooking.
What about almond flour?
Absolutely, sure, for sure, as well. Yeah, so in other words, I'm going to use white flour. I'm going to use whole grain pastry flours or an organic, like a chickpea flour or oat flour and things, okay? And there's some organic vanilla in there, and that's it. So this is your final tasting.
Baking powder versus
And each cookie has 100 calories.
baking soda.
And the
Did you have to say that?
well, yeah, here's why.
Okay, what's the difference between baking powder versus baking soda?
Well, baking powder is going to give you leavening, right?
Okay.
It's going to help rise your baked goods.
Okay, but the baking soda,
I don't know.
what does that do?
Makes your refrigerator smell good.
I know.
It's great for removing stains, right? Put a little water and you make a little toothpaste and stain removing. It's not, that's all.
So before we hand out the cookies, hello? Before we hand out the cookies as the final, before we hand out the cookies as the final dessert, Miss Beverly here has some menus. If you're interested in looking at the menus, not only does he make them, but he comes to your door, valet, and brings your food. And it's frozen, so you just put it in your freezer, and it is, I can tell you, it's really delicious because I eat it all the time.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, so I have a dozen soups, a dozen entrees, a couple salad dressings, and then a cookie of the month that we're doing right now. And on the back of your menu is my conventional menu. So remember, my background was still steaks and seafood and all that. So not everyone's vegetarian. Actually, only 3% of our country is vegetarian. 7% eats meatless more often. So it's a very small number. So I do have a couple clients. They like their wild caught salmon and their Chilean sea bass. And I'm from Maryland, so I got Maryland crab cakes and filet mignon. So I got some things on the menu on the back side. And those are all delivered fresh, okay? So the seafood, the steak menu, that's fresh delivered, and you got a choice of vegetables as well. And then the vegetarian entrees are frozen soups and frozen entrees. And the salad dressings are fresh. So if you ever want to place an order, just give me a call. I'll walk you through it and take your information and go from there. Yes,
And
Jackie.
if anybody's interested, John does do like cooking classes, so we could get husband, wife, or just women, or however you want to, about 6 couples, and we could have a cooking class, and we can set that up. I'll be happy to do
Even
that.
3 couples. That makes 6.
Okay, to make, yes, at the end, in January.
It would need to be in your kitchen, though. It can't be here.
Oh, can't be here? Oh, I
No,
think that-
because you have no heat.
Okay, right, yeah.
We're cooking without fire today, so it's...
So we'll have somebody who has a large kitchen,
John,
and we could
Yes,
try.
ma'am.
instead of peanut butter, how about substituting
Like almond butter?
almond?
You can replace it.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, I would make a small batch first and test it to make sure it comes out the same, okay?
And before we close, you can ask John anything you want afterwards, but let me just tell you the next lecture, guys. The next lecture is November 12th at 4 o'clock, hopefully in the bistro, but if not, we will be flexible. And it is a physician who is a physician of Oriental medicine, and he will be talking about acupuncture and Oriental medicine. That's November 12th. I'll be sending out a flyer. So John's going to be here, and Carol's for Howard is going to
How
pass
about
out
a
the
question session?
Anybody have questions?
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for your enthusiasm.